Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Humble Greatness in the building, and I have two very special guests with me right now. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and we're going to start off with the lady. Who do we have?
Hello, I am Denise Ortiz.
All right, we got Denise.
David Acal, a.k.a. Trainer Dave.
Trainer Dave, a.k.a.
Yes.
All right, so check this out. We really don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to kind of just have a conversation, right? This is what we do at Humble Talks. So the first thing I do want to ask both of y'all, how did y'all get into training? Anybody can go first. Doesn't matter to me.
You want to go first, Dave?
I guess we'll go first. I started lifting weights when I was 12 years old in my basement gym. Played football in middle school. I was always kind of skinny. I've been about the same height since middle school.
So you start. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
Did you start off playing football in middle school?
I did.
Did you do elementary school ball?
No, I think fourth grade was my first year of tackle football.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so basically, I was playing offensive line back then.
No way.
I know, it was crazy. Like I said, I was way taller than everybody else, but I didn't have the frame yet.
I got you.
And so I know people would be making comments about how skinny I was and how I needed to lift weights. And so, I got to start pretty young. Just had like a 300-pound plastic weight set in my mom's basement and just lifted like 3 days a week. And I saw a lot of progress, fell in love with the process.
Awesome.
And man, that's ever since then, it's been a passion of mine.
Sweet. So what about you?
Okay, so mine doesn't start off emotional.
Yeah.
Like back when I was a kid. But I grew up athletically and with weights around because I was always playing sports. So
What sports did you play?
do it.
What sports did you play?
In high school, middle school, I played volleyball, basketball, and ran track. So
Oh
I was
wow, you busy.
Yeah, so I went to a small school district. So it was like,
Is it
you
here in
gotta play.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you go?
Nickerson.
Oh,
Well, my middle
wow,
school was
okay.
Reno Valley.
Okay.
Nickerson's out by Hutch, isn't it? Somewhere out there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
1A school?
Wow.
We were actually 4A.
4A, wow.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
we were 4A. But we were really small, and so I played all the sports, lifted. And then when I went into college, I was like, I played basketball in college, and I was like, I want to be
Where'd you go to college at?
Dodge City.
Okay.
Shout out,
Okay.
Conquistadors.
Okay.
I was a
okay.
Coffeeville Red Raven right here.
Yeah, we were enemies, which I didn't even know Dave
Yeah.
at the time. I
It's
didn't,
crazy.
yeah. But anyways, yes, went to college, thought I was wanting to go into physical therapy, then transferred to WSU, still thought that was the road I wanted to go down. Did some shadowing. I was like, this is too slow.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't really be loud. Like, I'm just a loud person. So I was like, okay, I don't know what it is. I applied at the Y, went there, ended up teaching some classes, got to be super loud, was around an environment where people were uplifted, always happy, always talkative, trying to get better. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of what I want to do. Like, let me look into it. And then I ended up getting certified through the Y.
Okay.
And I
How old were you when you got certified through the Y?
21,
Got you. Oh wow.
21, 22.
I started at 20.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that the y'all's YMCA, I call it y'all's YMCA, right? The YMCA that y'all worked at, I think that y'all just had a good dynamic, like of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
like
Oh, yeah.
when you get a job somewhere or whatever you want to do, you want people that look like you. You don't want a whole bunch of older people, right? You don't want people too young because they might be too childish. You want people who
Yeah.
resemble you, right?
Oh, no, definitely.
I think that y'all really have that.
Yeah, I think we're
think that's
unique
awesome.
in that because I feel as if other facilities, not just Wise,
Yeah.
have like an older generation,
Absolutely.
like older people who are like focused on their business and stuff.
Definitely.
And our Y is very young,
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like college,
very unique,
college campus gym.
Yeah,
very.
for sure.
I
For
love
sure,
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
So how long have you been at the Y for?
3 years.
Okay. And then how long were you there
It's
for?
about 2.5.
Okay, David was there 2.5. And then talk about your college, because you did some stuff in
Yeah.
college too.
I did, yeah. So it's crazy. I started training my undergrad. My last year, I was a senior at Friends playing football. And so
What position you play?
played middle linebacker.
Did you love it?
Love it. Yes. Best position on the field.
Let's go.
I saw David in a game.
Yes.
He's a dog.
Thank you.
Let's go.
But yeah, no, I started when I was at Friends, and I remember kind of the grind. I I had clients at the time. My clientele wasn't very full, but
You were training when you were playing football?
I was, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay,
yeah,
I
like,
didn't know that.
I was only
That's
probably
awesome.
working about 20 hours a week at the Y, but I would come before classes sometimes in the morning to train clients, and then I had school during the day, then practice. And I remember there was even sometimes I would go after practice to train clients, and so
Sheesh.
I know, but it was a grind, but I loved it, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's not ideal when you have like 5 a.m. clients and then you have
Come on,
midday.
man.
And then
Yeah,
you
but
have,
that's
like,
and that's the
the
life.
5 p.m.
end up
8
being there all
p.m.
day.
That's the life of a trainer, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. You got to work with everybody's schedule, man, and that's tough. I mean, even before when I was selling cars, it was like that. Like some people are available in the morning, and then some
Yeah.
people are available at night. So
Yeah, and that's how you see how a trainer is, because I remember when I first started training, I was like, oh, they want 5 o'clock in the morning. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
My schedule doesn't allow it. I don't want it. Or if they're like, if it was my day off and they had like an 8 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, nope, my day off. I can't do it. And now it's like, I don't have days off because I'd rather have clients
Yeah.
and have my name out there
Yeah.
than have a whole day off and not do anything. So like on my day off, I have a very morning session and then a very late session.
I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the grind for real. And
Yeah.
and the thing about it is that's any business, right? Imagine if like McDonald's is like 24 hours, right? So like imagine if they were like, yeah, 5 a.m. we're just not gonna open our doors. Or like 10 p.m. we're not gonna open our doors, right? But you claim your 24 hours, that'd be an issue. So it's kind of like the same thing with the trainer. And the thing about it is, let's talk about self-motivation, because when you're running your own thing, you have to be pretty self-motivated. So what keeps you motivated? I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, well, I think that's the way trainers have to think. Is it's their own business. Even if you're at the YMCA or Genesis or Planet Fitness, it's people are coming to train with you, not the YMCA or wherever you're at.
That's
so
good.
Yeah, Dave posted that on Instagram and I
I
was
mean,
like, that is so
it's the truth,
Yeah,
you know.
that's good.
Yeah.
Because even I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with my brand. Is even if wherever I go, I want it to be me, kind of my business, and
Yeah.
so that's just kind of the way I think about it, and that's kind of something that keeps me motivated.
For sure.
So.
And then this is the brand for
Yes,
you.
David Acow Training got T-shirts, $20 too.
Oh, let's go.
Free shipping if you're local.
Yes,
Send the cash
free
app.
delivery.
Send the
Yes,
cash app. Let's
Venmo.
go.
So
All right. So what about you? What keeps you motivated?
I think my future. I think
Ooh.
if I do very well, if I do the hard work now that I'm young and that I have energy,
Yeah.
I'll set myself up for a good clientele base or
Absolutely.
just like a good name for myself in general, even if I choose not to end up getting my own business like David.
Yeah.
But definitely my future, especially now since I'm expecting a baby. I think, yes, thank you.
Let's go.
I think that is a bigger motivation for myself now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I told Denise the other day, I said, you're going to be the mother that pops the kid out, and then the next day you're going to be right here working.
that's very true.
That's
She'll
probably
have her
what's gonna-
baby with her in the gym.
That's probably exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I knew that David's life was going to change when I first kind of met him and first started going to the gym on campus. He was asking me a lot of questions about, what do you do? I think he saw me in there like at different times.
We saw each other all the time. Yeah.
And then he was just like, man, what do you do? Like, and I was like, what I do, it's a little weird because I'm like, I freelance, right? I'm my own studio, and then I shoot, videos, commercials, music videos, whatever. In Kansas, right? That's crazy. But he kept asking me like, okay, well, after this, what was your next step? When did you know that you had to do this? And man, when somebody starts asking those kind of questions, you're like, yeah, he's been thinking about it.
Yeah.
He's trying to do his own thing. So I gave him as much as I could. And then I remember one of the last conversations I had before he started his own business, I was like, you just got to believe in yourself and you just got to do it. That sounds super crazy, right? Leaving everything and just, I'm going to just wake up and kind of be unemployed, right?
Leap of faith.
Yeah. For
He
sure.
did it,
And he did it.
and he's doing it very well.
He's doing it right now. So I want to talk about kind of like that transition. What was going through your mind? What did you do to prepare? Because I know you said you did some sort of class or something. You were doing some sort of classes, needed some certifications. Maybe?
Oh, CSCS. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that.
So yeah, I mean the Y basically, or Y, a lot of big box gyms. They usually have their own certification, which is good because they're typically pretty easy to get. So what I call it is a low barrier of entry. It's not, you don't have to have big certifications that are hard to get. You can I think it's good for trainers to start at big box gyms because you kind of get your feet wet a little bit. And
Gotcha.
you can kind of find out, is this really something you want to do?
Yeah.
And then from there, they have bigger certifications. And pretty much if you want to go to a private gym, you have to have one. And so the one I got was the CSCS, the Certified Strength Conditioning Specialist, which is pretty gold standard. And so I got that in January of this year. And then it's kind of after you get that certification, you kind of ask yourself, like, what's the next steps?
Yeah.
And, I started doing some stuff on the side with, my buddy's gym. And
is that where you're at right now?
that's it. Yep.
Okay.
Amplify. Yep.
Gotcha. Amplify.
Yep. So,
For sure. Okay.
but yeah, it's just, I think and we talked about a lot, entrepreneurship is something that's always kind of intrigued me, business.
For sure.
And, I respect people like you and independent trainers that are doing their own thing, running their own business. It's a grind and it's a hustle, but I think there's nothing more rewarding than, being able to go all in on yourself and kind of seeing those benefits.
Yeah, for sure.
So
go ahead.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh, okay.
I was there when David was studying for this exam, and he did it for months. I mean, it's not just like, oh, you decide to do it and then next day you go and pay for the test. Like, he was like reading his book. You saw Dave everywhere with that damn book.
Yeah, as a Bible.
I'm talking about anywhere he went, he was like, any free time, he was like opening first page reading again.
Yeah.
And like, I was in class.
You were having that. You took that
I had that class while he was reading it, studying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get to
so
quiz her.
Yeah, so we went back and forth on it every time. But his exam was completely over that book.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
It was like a 500 page book.
Yeah, it was thick. I remember.
60% pass rate. I failed it.
No way.
I failed it my first time.
Okay.
It's not just a typical certification. It's really, like I said, if you want to get into college strength conditioning, be a college strength coach, you typically have to have that certification.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Okay. So you're at Amplify now. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about Amplify.
So we're more, I don't know, I want to say like well-rounded, structured. Every client is going to be assessed when they walk through our doors. Mm-hmm. We like to think like we're a college strength conditioning facility in the private sector.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So like I said, we have the high level certifications. We have, an online software we use to program and track our clients' data.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We just got a nutrition app. And it's, a very unique facility. It's a private studio. So,
it's really nice. I've been there.
Yes, you have. Yes. So,
it is.
He got a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. 450 pound bench press right here. So
that's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy. My body pays for it the next day every time. So I'm paying for it.
Doesn't look like it.
So, Denise.
Yes.
What's your next step? Or do you know?
I don't know. I applied for a position. I'll keep it quiet for now.
I understand.
I'll let you know if I get it or not. I'm excited. I'm optimistic always. Mm-hmm. But we're just gonna see where the Lord takes me at this point.
I understand that, and I think a better question is, what do you want? Do you want to stay in this for the long run, or is this just a thing to do right now? What does Denise want to do?
I think realistically, I would like to stay in the environment.
I understand that.
I don't know if I would like to train to the level of like, I want this to be my life.
Yeah.
Because I now am like shifting into family mode.
Yeah, when the baby comes, it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, and I remember David had touched a point on with me, like, most trainers who are single
or not don't have kids.
Yeah, all day.
All
day.
Because it's a lot of investing time. Like I probably with a child could not do the 5 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
No. For sure.
Especially if Drew is working or has something else. And so realistically, I don't really see that being a part of my life after the baby. But as much. I would like to stay in the environment of like gym
sure.
around a lot of people, motivated people. That would be my long term.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what puts a smile on your face when you do what you do?
Literally.
Yeah.
Them coming. Because
people showing up.
Because honestly, like
for
people who have like get personal training, it's usually for the accountability. And so if they don't show up, I feel like that was my fault. Because I'm like, oh, I should have texted them and made them come. I should have done this. I should have done that. So when they come and actually get through the door, everything else is easy. They'll do what I tell them to do.
Correct.
So that part is easy. But if they don't come, like, I guess I can get paid for that hour, but it doesn't do anything for me and them. Because like Dave was saying, like, we care about our clients. And that's why they come train with us, because we care about their life outside the gym. Like sometimes things pop up and they'll be like, hey, my daughter has sickness and I have to go pick her up from school or something. And we understand that. But when they just like don't show up and stuff, that I think hurts me anyways. But seeing them come through the door and they're like, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, go, let's go.
And I think it's also, I mean, it's what I deal with in the studio too. Like you wake up in the morning, right? And you mentally prepare yourself for the day. Like, is this going to be an easy client? Is this going to be a tough client? Like, how hard do I have to push? You know, you kind of like assess everybody. It's kind of like the way with the studio where I'm like, okay, I can't have like people who are harder to record back after back after back because I'll burn out. Yeah. Like, oh, man, I wish, you know. So I kind of got to schedule accordingly. Yeah. So it's like you're pumped up and you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And then they don't show and you're just like,
yeah.
It's like that mental like defeat.
It is.
Even though you're like, you know what, this person's canceled so many times, but I really thought they were going to come this time, right?
Yeah.
So
that's
I deal with it as well. As far as like cancellations and stuff, do you experience that a lot? Is that high?
I think so.
I think it's pretty high in every business.
It is, especially if you're an independent entrepreneur. Yeah. And then the reality is personal training is not inexpensive. I mean, I know most places charge around $50 a session, $200 a month, I mean, obviously.
How many sessions do you get in a month?
It depends on what you get.
Yeah, it really does. So like package wise, if you pay $200 a month, you're probably getting one session a week.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's 50 a session.
50 a session. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not inexpensive, but we do think we're worth it.
Absolutely.
You're paying for somebody's knowledge. You're paying for all the years it took them to learn.
Correct.
Master their craft, and like you said, accountability. But so I think kind of the way, the sad reality of it is it's a very unstable job. If a client loses their job, you're like the first person to go.
Absolutely.
And like I won't mention any names, but I had a client. Actually, last week he found out his wife's pregnant, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I can't do it anymore." He's like, "I gotta pull the plug." And so
priorities.
It's like I said, kind of like Denise said, it's kind of like it's kind of like a gut punch. It hurts, but
especially if they were like your favorite, or like sometimes you have like that one client that you can do like more with or heavier with, and that's something you like. Yeah. And then they end up leaving, and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, but I think you just have. That's just the reality of the business, and
for sure.
I think the goal is, hopefully they take what they've learned from you and they do it on their own,
And they might come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might come back.
Maybe they start making $100K and start paying you train 5 times a week. It is a possibility. So
yeah. I follow this lady on Instagram.
Okay.
And she's a physical therapist, and she travels to the home of her clients.
You can make big bucks.
Yeah. And so she actually says, like, I'm going to give you one cancellation, and then after that, I'm keeping your money and I'm canceling. She's like, there's no way. You don't do much.
I got to travel, man.
I come to you. Like, there's
you just got to be home.
Yeah. Like, all you got to
get you out of bed.
Yeah. She's literally like, there's absolutely no excuse. Like, if you need to go to the restroom, I'm in your home. Like, I'll wait for you.
Wow.
But she's like, I'll give you one for your privacy, for your rights as my client. But like, after that,
I'm out.
I need a 24-hour rescheduling thing. And I was like, wow, that's pretty hardcore.
It is, yeah.
Because we're pretty lenient.
We are, yeah.
Like, I feel like if you text us like even an hour or like 30 minutes before. We'll be like, okay, we'll reschedule.
Yeah.
And after so many times, we're like, okay, we're just tired of this.
There's definitely people that abuse it.
No call, no shows.
Yeah, that's the worst. No
Those
call,
are
that's
literally-
the worst.
That is not
For
it.
you who do that, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, because
It's
that's
in my
just so
business too, trust
disrespectful.
me.
Oh, I
Yeah,
bet.
it is.
It is. Yeah.
It is. And like I said before, man, mentally preparing for the day is like, it would be tough for, and I'm just going, I'm not even going to ask them. I'm gonna tell them that this is mentally exhausting. If they're training and then I see David in the gym and I'm like, hey man, can you train me right now? And you're like, even though that he might have the time, he's not mentally prepared for
for
me
that.
right
Sure,
now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like to go into my workouts with a plan,
Absolutely.
program it, think it out. And I think that's the best way to do
Yeah.
it. But then I've seen, and I probably could do it myself, just, come up with things on the fly.
You could, but if so many people did it,
Then,
it's like the studio. Like, people will hit me up and be like, "Hey, can I get in right now?" And I'm like, "Dude, my day
it's
is
crazy.
packed."
No,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yep.
And a lot of times, like even at first, like if somebody did set, if I'm not that busy, like I'll try and accommodate to
Absolutely.
them. But yeah, if my day's packed, then it's like I'm probably not going to be able to make time for you.
It's tough,
Yeah.
man. Nah, I understand that.
And they can't be upset about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Just,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask, but at the same time, like, know that
yeah.
the possibility of the answer being no.
It's
Or, like,
probably
just
pretty
a
high.
different day. Yeah.
Well, also you got to think about, like, we have lives. Like, we're not machines, right? We're not. So, if I have 3 sessions today, I've probably planned out my downtime. Like, okay, my downtime, maybe I can read a book, or maybe I can spend time with a loved one, or I could, go out to eat with somebody, or you know
Or
what I'm
just
saying?
rest.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I need to
Or just sit down and do
relax.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than having somebody in my face, demanding my time. It's a lot. It's just
Yeah.
it's the beast of the small business, man.
No,
It's
it is.
some days it's amazing, other days you're like, is this even for me?
Yeah. No, you have. I've definitely been experiencing. You have a lot of doubts, but
Yeah,
you
for
You
sure.
just gotta remember why you're doing it, and
Yeah.
the people that you do have, you gotta do everything you can to take care of.
Yeah. For sure. Nah, man, those are all really great points. So where do you want your brand to be at? Because right now you're with
Yeah.
Amplify, right?
Yeah.
So eventually, do you want to do your own thing away from Amplify, or do you know that yet?
I don't really know that yet.
Okay.
I mean, there
Understand.
could, like I said, I think owning a gym is kind of a dream of mine.
Gotcha.
Like I said, yeah, I don't know if training 8 hours a day is sustainable for anybody. I mean, I want
So tiring.
it is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have people under you.
What's that? Oh yeah, that's the
Eventually,
thing.
for
That's kind of my goal. Is I think hopefully I still want to train. I don't know, maybe 4 hours a day, and then 4 hours a day. And I'm starting to get to this point where I'm doing, back end stuff, managing staff.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it is rewarding too. It's just 2 different things. Gym management and then training clients.
Yeah, for sure.
So and then if you have your own gym, if you have your own brand, apparel, supplement line. Those are all ways.
I thought that was really neat.
It is, and no, that's just ways of you call it passive income.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do anything. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get to, is being able to utilize my time better, but still be able to make good money doing what I love.
Are you taking classes for business and financing?
No, not yet. I mean, to be honest, and you could probably relate to this. Is like
Let's go.
it's like. The things they teach you in,
Come on,
in school,
man.
it's not going to be applicable to running a gym or running your own business. I think you kind of just have to get in the trenches and do it yourself and learn. I mean, learn from mistakes. I think from where I started 3 years ago, to where I am now, I've learned a lot, and just you got to keep learning, read books, listen to podcasts. That's easy ways to learn.
I have what did you graduate?
Health and physical education was my degree.
Okay. You have a bachelor's?
Bachelor's, yep.
Okay. Are you going for your master's?
No,
I thought we had a master's discussion before.
No, we did.
Okay.
Because that was my whole thing. Is I almost got an MBA, and I was gonna play out my football eligibility, which was like 2 years.
You still got 2 years left?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
It got wiped.
Let me get those 2 years.
Yeah. Well, nah. I say
Give them to me.
I wish it got wiped away once I played arena ball.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yep. That's right.
But
Which
yeah,
they were champs, by the way.
AFA champs. Yes.
Let's go.
David won't boast about himself, but I will.
Yeah, I was like, when he told me that, he was like, yeah, man, I played in the game, and he had a picture of him holding the trophy. I was like, dude, that's legit. I didn't even know that.
It's not as good as it sounds, but I won't go into that. They don't need to know that. So,
but nah, man, I think that's awesome, man. What about you, school-wise?
I do want to go back once baby's born.
I understand.
To get my master's in sports psychology.
You have your bachelor's already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I graduated from WSU in
That's
May.
awesome. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
You.
I know I saw all the pictures, but shoot, man, there's graduation pictures all over the place.
I know.
I do remember seeing you.
Yeah,
it
was a very emotional day.
Yeah.
Were you first gen? No, your mama.
Yep.
But I was first gen.
Big. That's big time.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my
wow.
parents were like super proud. My whole family.
Where do you come from? What's your background? Like for your parents? Like where did you grow up in, if you don't mind me asking?
So I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Okay.
And then that's where my family is from. And then we moved over here when I was like 9 months.
Oh, wow. You fluent in Spanish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
sure.
And then we moved to Texas with my family there.
What part? You remember?
Houston. Then my sister was born there. And then we ended up moving to Hutch when I was like 4.
And then that's when you were going to school out in Nickerson?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where my brother was born. And then we've just stayed there.
You the oldest?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So you have one sister and one brother?
Yep. My sister is 23 and my brother is 18.
Do they live here?
No, my sister just moved to Salina and then my brother's still at home. He's finishing his senior year.
And your parents are living where?
In Hutch.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so we live in Hutch, but we stayed within we went out of district to 309.
I got you.
Nickerson, and I love that school.
Wow.
I've now, like, being older, and a lot of people are expressing they weren't happy, but I had a good elementary, middle school, and
I loved high school.
Right,
I'm gonna be honest. I loved high school, man.
I really did too. I was really involved.
Yeah.
I was friends with almost every type of group in our school. Like, I feel like I was how I am now.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Very like talkative and outgoing and
absolutely
acceptable of people. So I feel like I was the same.
Yeah.
Personality wise.
And then what about for you?
I think
what was your upbringing for you?
Well, I was born and raised here in Wichita.
Okay. What school did you graduate from?
High school?
Yeah.
Capon.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Capon, boy.
I know. So I think I liked college a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
I would have too.
Absolutely. I understand that.
We'll leave it at that.
I have a love-hate relationship with college, man.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Bethel.
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Bethel.
I went to Bethel.
What?
Yeah.
I was a Friends University Falcon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to Bethel. We never beat Friends in football. Never did. Yeah.
Did you play football?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Breaking news. I didn't know that.
How do you think this guy got so big?
Yeah, man. I played defensive back.
that's
All
awesome.
4 years. Yeah, it was great. The thing was, I had an older brother.
Oh.
And my older brother he's amazing at whatever he does, right? So in football, he had like all the records, like punt return, kick return, and receiver. Like my brother's, he's really
Where is he at?
really good. He's actually a teacher out in Dallas, Texas right now, and he coaches all the sports like track, football, basketball, all of that.
Probably pretty good money.
It's decent.
I've heard coaching positions in Texas.
Yeah.
Can be
Oh yeah,
big
they're gonna
time.
pay more than
Yeah,
here for sure.
yeah.
That was one of the reasons why he left here.
Right.
But he loves what he does and he loves the kids, right? But that's why I came out here. So just a quick little backstory. I might have said this in my other podcast, so I don't want to say the full story again. But I never got a chance to play football with my brother because I was a freshman and he was a senior, right?
Sweet.
So I wasn't good enough as a freshman to
Play
varsity. So when my brother graduated and went to Bethel, that was one of my things. I always wanted to play football with my brother. Mm-hmm. So then I moved to Atlanta, right? And then, man, I was playing with top tier players. I mean, I played with Calvin Johnson, who used to play for the Lions, right? Mm-hmm. He went to my school. We played football together. I played against Eric Berry. He used to play for the Chiefs, right? I played against Michael Tolbert. He played a fullback for the Chargers, right? So like I see all this talent and I'm like, man, these dudes are like amazing, right? So I remember, man, just working hard, lifting weights. I used to lift weights twice a day. I used to lift in the morning, and then after practice, I would lift
Crazy.
again.
That sounds like
I was just trying to just literally kill myself. And I'll never forget when my brother came to visit my senior year. I was just huge. I just got a lot bigger, right? Got a lot of size. And then when I moved out here after I graduated and went to Bethel, I was good enough to play my freshman year, so I got to play football with my brother.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great story.
So
that's awesome.
That was the motivation behind it.
That's awesome.
That was
awesome.
the motivation. And then, we were good at Bethel. Well, I got 2 conference rings out of it,
Nice.
my sophomore and junior year. But man, I fell in love with music. And then somebody told me that there was a studio at Bethel.
Yeah.
And I was like, for real? And there really was. They have like a nice studio.
Really?
Yep. And then this guy named Luke Schmidt, this Mennonite dude with this
I'm dead.
long old beard.
Yeah.
He was like, I've never recorded hip hop, but I'll record you. And then that was it, man.
I think, I don't know if you told the story to your fans, but I know you told me back in the day, like when you were at Bethel, that's when Humble Greatness Studios started. Like,
Well, something
in
like
your
that.
dorm?
Man. Yeah. I
Yeah.
started my studio. It wasn't Humble Greatness at the time. It was just, just me doing my thing. But
Yeah.
I had the studio set up in my dorm room.
Yeah.
And I had my dorm mate, the guy who lived right by me, his name was Andrew. He played football too.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Andrew, man, like, I'm gonna stay up like all night and record. So I'm sorry. He'd be like, no, man, do your thing. I love Andrew.
Oh, shout out Andrew.
Yeah, shout out Andrew Baker for sure. So I was, man, once I found music, I didn't really care for football anymore.
Yeah.
I was just playing because I was like, man, we're good. Why not? Mm-hmm. You know, but I don't miss it at all. I don't.
I think that's kind of what happened with me in training is like, I loved being at the gym, loved, training clients. And it's like, I could have came back to play more football, but then it's like, I'm just paying $10,000 to get a master's degree just to play football. And I could be starting my career and, so.
But I've never, like I said before, the love-hate relationship with college, I've never used my degree to do anything.
It's true. And even as trainers, like,
Never
those
have.
classes,
I'm barely using it right now.
those classes aren't very practical. I know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But it's really tough because like I was 17 when I hit college. So like you ask a 17-year-old, what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
I don't know. I want to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like
That's what I
life
want to do. Play video games
Yeah.
all day.
Like life experiences get you to where you want to go. Like if you never had gone with this man, you would have never known. Or if
You're
you would
right.
have never talked to that friend.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes it's like a conversation or an experience and you're just like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You don't do that at 17.
It's true.
Like
I think I was pretty lucky because I like I said, from a young age, I knew what I wanted to, that this was a career path I wanted to follow. But yeah, like you mentioned, I know a lot of trainers that, they don't find out they want to train until they're in their 20s because they transform their life and then
For sure.
they want to start helping other people do the same.
Well, I think it's a lot easier too with social media and how it's open. Like we didn't have that. Man, I grew up in the dial-up internet days, bro.
Yeah.
Where like if you're on the internet and somebody calls the home line, it kicks you off, right? That's where I'm from. So like with as much as you can see on, your Instagrams and you see like young people making money and doing stuff themselves. And I think that, that's a game changer. So I do feel like, even kids now, you ask a kid what they want to do. I feel like a lot of them have pretty good paths. Yeah. Or
I mean, in
ideas,
8th grade, I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist up until my last year in college.
Yeah, at least it's still pretty close, still in the kind of same
That's a lot of-
field.
But it was like such a life, like a pivotal moment for me because I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to school for these many years and get this done. I know I want to do this. And then it's like I shadowed and I was like, I don't know. And then it was like my whole life was like changed because I had visioned my whole life of me being a physical therapist. And like, it was like I sat in my car for the longest. And I remember calling my mom and I was just crying because I was like, I don't know what I want to do anymore. I just knew that's not what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't want that. And my mom was like, calm down. Like, I think I was like 19. She's like, you're going to be fine. And I was like, you don't understand. I was like 11 when I knew I wanted to do this. Like, this was like, so I wanted to, like, my family had been like in car accidents, not my immediate family, but like, and they went to physical therapy and I was like, they got so much better with them. And physical therapists do amazing work, but it was just not for me. And so I was like, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And I still do help people in a different way. And but at that moment, I was just like, my life was on hold. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I think luckily with you, like, I mean, when I was there, I saw it, you know, you spent your entire day at the gym, you know?
yeah.
And so I'm sure, you know, working at the Y helped kind of find that career path. And
Oh, yeah, it did.
yeah.
That's dope. So in the next 5 years, what do you see your life looking like?
Oh,
Man, such a hard question.
It is.
Yeah, you never know. Things are always changing. Things are always coming up unexpectedly. But yeah, I hope to be kind of more on the managerial side of training.
Okay.
Like I said, hope to continue training, but you know, maybe managing trainers, maybe managing and operating my own facility.
Yeah.
That would be, I think, the dream for me.
Yeah.
So
You're going to get
yeah,
that.
same. I
You will.
want to be more on the admin side of the training
Sweet.
side. Hopefully volunteering, coaching
yeah,
with the little one.
I think both of y'all are going to be really great, man. The thing is, you know, always just keep your options open. You know what I mean? And don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something.
amen.
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 Yeah, amen.
Like
Yeah.
for real, man.
Yeah.
What I see in all the people I'm like following on social media, man, you got 15, 16, 17-year-old kids like killing it at what they do, right? And I'm just like, man, I'm over here 35. Like, man, I didn't even know that this was possible.
Social media is not always the reality.
Yeah.
You know?
But that is true. You know, a lot of them, you know, they got great parents. They got, you know, a whole bunch of money backing them up and stuff. But still, just to see it, like, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Man. So,
Yeah.
now, man, just keep grinding. And life's a journey. It's not a race. So,
Definitely.
just take one day at a time.
For sure.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
Yes,
Unless
thank you
y'all
for
have.
having
Great
us.
conversation. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is another episode of Humble Talks. I'm going to put everybody's social media links down there. Man, link up with us, man. We just here to kick it. Y'all take care.
Awesome.
Bye.
All right. Peace.